an air conditioning company. I couldn't afford to go to summer camps, so I rode with my grandfather in the summertime. So I've been doing it forever. All through high school, summertime, I worked as an AC guy. It was awesome. I had more money than all my friends. I couldn't spend it because I was always working. When I got out of high school, I figured I'm never going to get an air conditioning again. No more trades. I went to Transworld Airlines. You guys ever heard of TWA, the old airline? I think maybe in the 70s, you'll see. Right? My grandmother worked there, my mom worked there, and I worked there. So after 5 years, Saddam Hussein said in Gulf War of '91, I'm going to blow up all the airplanes. Everybody quit flying. I got laid off. So when I went back to Sarasota, tail between my legs, my grandfather was like, "Still got your tools." So since '91, I've always been in the band. Right? About 13, 14 years ago, about 14 now, I got picked up from selling so much IEQ as a technician. I kept getting recognized and popping up on leaderboards. I had no idea. And next thing you know, I get this phone call to come in and interview. And long story short, we had a great time, and I've been training technicians around the country and in Canada for the last 14 years. You ever heard of 1 Hour Heating and Air? Yep. Big franchise. I was their IEQ trainer for 4 years. Traveled all over for them. All of Airtime 500, 26,000 technicians probably under my belt that I've trained so far. Right. Okay. So that's me in a nutshell. And Dynamic, the last time Ryan was here, did he kind of go through some of the stuff that we talked about, kind of who Dynamic is as far as the company and all that? All right, cool. With service experts, if the customer, if you're out there talking about indoor air quality, of course they always screw up, they call it AIQ, they never call it IAQ, right? If they go out and they say, hey, do you have any information on this? Is there any videos? Is there any marketing stuff? Give them that website. That is your dedicated website for service experts. That is your brand. It's called Stratus Air. Even though the company is Dynamic, we mentioned Dynamic, we mentioned Stratus Air. If they have anything, you can give them the QR code, you can give them the website, and all kinds of videos are there for them and yourself. If there's anything else. Also, we are the only indoor air quality company. This is why we work with all the big affinity groups. We're the only guys that put our testing up on a website for third party and let the customer read it. Okay, so we don't have any issues whatsoever looking at it, trying to find, if somebody wants to read our testing, it's all on the website for everybody to read. Okay, try to find these guys to do their testing or Airflubber. Try to watch those guys and come up with their stuff. They will hide everything they possibly can, or tell you, that's proprietary. We can't share that information. That's the old trust me clause. My system works. Can you prove it? No, I don't want it. Right. I have an issue with that. All right. For technicians, salespeople, everything, this is your online training academy that we actually developed. There are 3 certifications that are available. One is for the customer service people if they need it, installer training, as well as tech and sales training. And what this will do, this will actually get you certified in indoor air quality. You'll actually get a certificate. So if you're talking to somebody, you've got your certificate, you can go through. And once that happens, what you'll do is you'll send whoever you're reporting to will send me an email. You're going to send them an email to them, right? So it goes email to email. You can tell them I got my certification and go ahead and include the PDF. They will forward that to me. I will turn around and forward that to accounting. They got to see the paper trail. And then what happens once you have your certificate, right? We will go ahead and send you a video book. Now this video book will help you close more sales than anything else. Reason being is we wrote it. Okay. Back in the year like 2006, 2008. Remember when the pandemic H1N1 was out? We're all supposed to die during that one too. All right. We had a big map that we had, and the more I unfolded that thing and talked to the homeowner, the more chance I was getting of closing a sale. If I had the whole map opened up, right, which I'm going to show you how to do this in a little bit, when you had the whole map opened up, I had a 75% chance of selling at least a $695 panel. Okay, so some of our other stuff was $3,600, but I had at least a 75% chance I closed that. Right, so we're going to do the same thing here, but now it's just in a video book form. Okay, so I being a kind of I have fun with my technicians. I tease them, or my customers especially. I knock on the door, I start teasing them right from the get go. And you'll see that in a little bit. Right, let them know that I'm a pretty good guy. I'm pretty knowledgeable, but I also like to have a good time. I would literally do this today if I was a tech in the field. I would literally ask somebody, hey, have you ever heard about this COVID-19 thing? I would just throw it out there because everyone's going to go, who hasn't? Right? And I go, exactly. Here at Service Experts, we think you should hear about a couple more things. And just hand them the book. Get their attention about the COVID thing, right? Because they're going to be shocked and they're going to stop for a second. And then say, well, here at Service Experts, we think you should learn a few other things. And then just hand them the book. It has nothing to do with COVID, but I want to get your attention. Right? Get them the book. There's 4 videos. It lasts about 8 minutes, and it talks all about indoor quality. You don't have anything else to sell. You can go out and do heat load calculations. You can go out and do service. You can go out and do any type of install. That customer will now have enough information. They usually come back and go, that's really cool. How much is this? Yes, sir.
Has it been as like the UV been tested now for COVID, like the flu virus? So it does.
Well,
okay.
We are known in the industry as the COVID killer.
Okay.
Right? There's
Last time I told you it wasn't done yet.
Wasn't done yet. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep. And there was a lot of stuff that had to get done. There are still 2 massive class action lawsuits against companies that were saying it could do COVID, and it didn't. Right? And they went federal. when you go federal, right? Go to federal schools and federal stuff. You wake up all the scientists, not just the marketing department of an indoor air quality company. Right? Boeing did a test on one company and said it was as effective as taking a brick from your yard and putting it in ductwork. Okay. That was Train did a test, said it was 100% ineffective. The EPA actually did a test on, and it was a horrible write-up. If anybody wants to see the test after class, if you guys want to make copies of it, I call this my AHA file. So let me me tell you else I do. I just don't teach indoor air quality at my company. I am one of the 5 guys of product research for competitors. Okay, I know my customers or my competitors' products better than they do. Right, and I'm also on the 10 people that are on the research and development and engineering team for new products. This is all I do. Okay, I don't do anything else. So when somebody says they can do a whole bunch of stuff, you can all read the EPA article, but it is not pretty. Okay, so I don't have to say it doesn't work. I let the EPA do my talk. So same thing with all of our testing. All of our testing is totally available right on the website, and I'll show you a little bit about that as well. But the main thing today was how to bring it up with people. So if everybody's got that picture, we'll move on. We are a very large commercial company. Worldwide footprint, we're approximately 25 to 30% in a worldwide footprint commercial. So if you walk into a building, you got a 25 to 30% chance our stuff is in there, right? We do business, like I said, 17 countries, 14 international sales offices. We just did this one. This was a $20 million redo. All of their HVAC system was redone. We don't do HVAC, but we did all the filtration systems for it. I'm sure you've heard of the National Institute of Health, right? So we never put a picture up there without anything. Go on our website and verify anything you want. This is part of the filter rack that was put in there. This right here is what they call a control box, right? A control panel. This takes 440 volts of electricity, converts it all down, and each box will do up to 250 individual panels at 24 volts. Same exact panel that you put in your customer's house is here. I can literally take one of these out, put it in your house. It's a 30 by 30, so you got the filter rack for it, and I could wire it in 24 volt, and it would work just as well. It's the exact same thing. But since they paid $20 million, they're going to want that one panel back, right? So one box does 250 panels. As you can see, there's 3 boxes sitting here. If we were to take this filter rack out, this thing is 12 foot tall. If we took it out and stretched it out and put them all together, these things are called V8s. They'd be 650 feet long. So imagine a 12 foot by 650 foot return. That's a lot of air moving through that stuff, right? So pretty cool stuff. Princeton, New Jersey, right around Thanksgiving of last year, my boss Duke came out and he said, "Hey, where's Johnny?" And I said, "Right here, boss." He goes, "Come here, I want to show you something. Can you all see the box?" Right? So there's another couple companies that are out there. They say they do a lot of stuff with NASA. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. And I have always asked, even when I was a tech, "Dude, you got a picture with that? You got any type of picture?" I would sell the snot out of it. I could prove that this was on some type of space program. Right? Everybody always says to me, every one of them, "That's proprietary." We're back to the trust me clause thing again, right? So again, we're sitting there. There's Duke. He's the president and CEO of our company, right? And of course, all of us jump in there. Here's Ryan, who used to be with us. He's not with us anymore. But yeah, we're all sitting there in front of me. We're having some fun because now that's the big joke. We can actually show people we do stuff with NASA. Remember the control boxes I showed the panels, right? Okay. There are 100 of them in here. Guess how many that's going to take out, right? What's 100 times 250? We're looking at like 2,000 something panels that are going in, and all of this is going here to the Goddard Space Institute. This is where they built the Hubble telescope and the also building the James Webb telescope. So yeah, all that's going there. Did Ryan ever show you this? What was going on in December of 20 or November of 20? Right in the middle of COVID, and we were kind of talking about this right last time we were here about that in when I was at the old other place. But I'm not gonna check anybody's man card. But has anybody ever heard of HGTV and a show called Designing Spaces? I got a friend that watches it. My wife does. Yeah, there you go. Never saw an episode. Yeah. Never.
Have you thought about the quality of the air circulating through your home? Without a clean solution, there could be germs and bacteria lurking in every room.
Most homeowners don't understand that there's actually just not dust in the air, but there's 3 phases of contamination. There's particles, germs, and there's gases. Each phase of contamination affects their equipment, their HVAC equipment, and also can affect their health. So one of the misconceptions is if I just buy a room air cleaner, it's going to take care of the whole problem. Well, most room air cleaners take care of the particles, and they do a great job. A lot of them have HEPA systems in there, but it's only addressed in one room. There's a lot of stuff on the market today that's being presented to homeowners and contractors who do a really good job in a lab, a 1-by-1 test chamber, but they don't work in an in-home application.
Dynamic Air Quality Solutions have been helping clean indoor air since 1982. Their high-tech products provide a cleaning solution for commercial and residential buildings.
The air that's going through your furnace or air conditioner does about 3, 4, 5 times an hour. It's going by at a high velocity. It's going by 400 or 500 feet per minute. We have about 0.7 seconds to do something to the germ or the particle or the gas that's in the air. So you have to have a high enough power product in order to take care of that.
Technology-wise, there's sort of 2 bookends of taking stuff out of the air. There's passive filters, which are essentially a sieve. The smaller the holes in the sieve, the more efficient the filter, but also then the harder it is to push air through it. The other bookend is the traditional electrostatic air cleaner that works through electrostatic attraction. And we're sort of a combination of the 2. We do hospitals and labs and clean rooms and the world's most valuable art collection. And we're able to take that same technology, though, and put it in a format that can deal with the constraints of a residential HVAC system.
The differing technologies make it hard for homeowners to know where to turn.
We started presenting ultraviolet energy to the market about 1992. So myself and my team were on the first design team that designed the first ultraviolet energy lights for residential applications.
Dynamic Air knows how important it is to protect everyone in your home from germs and bacteria. That's why they provide homeowners with a whole house solution.
So you have a system in your house that is moving all the air in your house multiple times an hour. So by putting the air cleaning in that system, you do a much more complete job of cleaning the air in your house, as opposed to a room unit, which would boost the air changes in that given space, but really wouldn't do anything for the rest of the house.
So our product is based on science and logic and not just on marketing. Scientifically, it has to work. So we'll put it in test chambers like anybody else to see if the science behind it will address whatever phase of contamination that we're trying to take care of in a home or in our commercial environments. Secondly, it has to logically work in the other application. You have to take it out of the lab, put it in a home, put it in a hospital, put it in a museum. Is it going to work in that application? So we know it's going to work in a little test chamber, but that's the science behind it. So scientifically, we proved that it works, and then logically, on the other end, will it work in the application that we're designing it to work for?
Protect your family from germs and bacteria with a whole home cleaning solution from Dynamic Air Quality Solutions. For more information, visit dynamicaqs.com or visit designingspaces.tv.
Very proud of that. Pretty proud of that. So let's talk briefly about what we do for filtration. Now again, this is not in a package form with service experts just yet. You guys are corporately are looking for a system that can stay in for 6 months, right? When you sell the big system. And right now, a 1-inch air cleaner in most residential homes will not last for 6 months. Reason being is I can breathe like a MERV 7 filter. If you put it in there, it's going to breathe just like that. But I'm going to capture particles like a MERV 15 level. So when you're starting to capture that kind of stuff, I need to be changed more often, right? Because that's how dirty the air is. So we're working on something for them right now to get to the 6-month level. It's just going to take a little while to get there. But if you're out there on a service call or a maintenance call and you come across somebody's system that is dirty and is not transferring out and just a customer for the time being, you can still talk about air purification, right? What our panel does is technicians love to see all the stuff. That's why I put everything there. But homeowners only really care about two line items, and that's why I put them in red, the top one and the bottom one. The customer doesn't care. It comes in 45 standard sizes. They have a 20 by 25. Okay? They don't care about the DC current and voltage and things like this. They hear it's electronic. What's it going to do for me? How long is it going to last? That's generally what a customer says. When you're talking indoor air quality, just so I get a feel of the room, I know sales. Guys, install, service, what we got? Install. Okay. So this is going to help you as well because I'm going to give you a couple things you guys can use if you go to a homeowner's place in just 1 second. So what this electronic air cleaner does, it slides into any 1-inch filter rack that they have in the home. Okay. This will fit in the bottom of the unit. This will fit into the ceiling. It'll fit into the wall. It doesn't matter. This gets wired into the system onto the control board side inside the air handler or the furnace. Okay. We're going to give you you have multicolors of wires inside on the low voltage side. Our wiring harness has 2 colors. It's got a red one. Guess where the red wire goes? On the red, and the black goes on common. Very, very easy. That's it. It's totally wired in. There's nothing else to do. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to worry about nothing else. Red to red, black on the common. That's it. Okay. If you have to put it here, and the air handler is back there, we only provide you with 10 feet of 18 to thermostat wire. Essentially, what it is. You just need to run the wire back to the control board, or if the thermostat's right there, you can fish it down the wall and go to the red and common there. How do you run wire back if it's only 10 feet and you need 30 feet? I used to carry a plastic bag from the grocery store and some string about 50, 60 foot long. I would just lay it out. I would turn on the fan. We didn't have furnaces in Florida. We just have heat pumps. And I would just turn on the fan as it's pulling out the return. I'd take the plastic bag, put it near the return. It would inflate like a parachute. And boom, it'd go all the way back to the ductwork and smash right into the evaporator bowl. I just go there and I grab it and I pull the string through and I ran my wire. Okay? It's very, very easy to do. I know guys use balloons. If you're going to do it on a furnace, put a 1-inch air cleaner or some type of filter right there so it doesn't go into the blower wheel. Same thing, you can run it right back to that. Okay? So very, very easy way to do it. I'm a 70s and 80s kid, so we grew up on MacGyver, right? I mean, all you got to do is use some bubble gum wrapper and some dental floss and we can do all kinds of things, right? Okay, so easy way to stuff to figure it out. But when you're talking to, if you're sitting there with a homeowner, husband or wife, I need everybody to kind of think like you were at home right now. Who makes the real decisions when it comes to something like this? Who's the one that makes the decision? Yeah, the wife is usually the one that makes the decision. As men, what are we thinking about the whole time that sales guy's sitting there across from us? How much is it going to cost, right? So don't talk to the husband. We already know what we're thinking, right? Y'all with me on that? Don't talk to him. How much this cost? How much this cost? Right? Everybody goes, we sell on value. As customers, what do we care about value? We're guys. We're going to go, how much is it? Well, let me go through my value proposition. I don't give a shit. How much does it cost? Right? I mean, that's exactly what we're thinking. So don't talk to us. Talk to the wife. Okay? Because she will go, I know it's going to be expensive, but what's it going to do? Is it worth it? Their brains work differently than ours, right? So when I talk to a homeowner about what our systems can actually do, I don't talk to him, okay? I look right to her, and I need to, I'm really big on looking at a customer, kind of shaking them up a little bit. As I always say, put your grandma on a 6-foot ladder, and then we do the earthquake test, right? You go, but I don't let her fall, I hug her. So I like to keep her shook up, because if they're shaking up, they're not arguing with you, right? So I would actually look right at, Kim, right? Was it Kim? Jane. Sorry. Okay. So I would look right at the wife at the house, in this instance it would be Janie, and I would literally say, well, Mrs. Jones, my filter works so good. I always say filter because I don't want it to sound expensive, okay? My filter works so good, I can capture 97% of all particles in the air 0.3 microns in size. And I literally give her the technical definition of what we do. Now, there's guys, what are we thinking? I don't know if it has something to do with decimals or fractions. Don't ask me a question, right? I don't have no idea. But I'm talking directly to her, and she'll go like this. Most women will go, okay. And then I'd go, can I put that into English? Can I put that in layman's terms? Can I put that really simple for me? When I say simple, I don't say simple for you. I say simple for me. I want them to think I'm the idiot in the room. Because think about it. When we walk into a customer's house, what do they look at us? Oh, the mechanic's here. Oh, my God. You know, these dirty fingernails. You know what I mean? They're already looking down on us. Play with it because it's going to work for our advantage. So I said, can I dumb it down for me? Right? I always get a yes. And I said, now, Jane, fictitiously now, Mrs. Jones, and you would do this from across the table. Fictitiously, I want to pluck out one strand of your hair. And I would literally, this is what we did, I would go, boop, right? And I said, now, Jamie, you got pretty long hair. So I'm going to take your single strand of hair lengthway to the wall. Oh, I don't want to lose you guys. I'm going to go over here. Y'all see it? All right? Take your hair lengthway to the wall. And Jamie, give me the sharpest knife you have in the house. I don't care if it's in the kitchen, the junk drawer, the garage, wherever it is. Give me that knife to your single strand of hair. And I am literally going to slice it into 150 slices. You with me? I always said width, never said width. Okay, now, here comes the tough part. Jamie, I'm going to take 149 of those out of the way, just leaving one, yeah? That's what my filter does. Mrs. Jones, I literally can pull dirt out of the air, 1/150th the thickness of a single strand of your hair. Process that for a little bit. Then give her the ultimate question. Itty bitty, ain't it?
Yes.
That's all I ever said to homeowners. Itty bitty, ain't it? I don't use any big technical words. And when I use dumb words like that, I usually get a yeah, or I would get this. I love this part. Oh, that is itty bitty. What's the husband thinking now? Oh shit, that was yeah, you know, he's like, holy crap. But now I want to bring the husband into it. Why? Because I'm going to look at Bob, and I'm going to go, Bob, and here's the greatest thing about this filter. Not only does it capture 100% of what your current filter does, I'm capturing 97% of everything else that it missed, and you never have to go back to Home Depot to try and remember what size filter you have. The reason being is, when we come out and do the maintenance once a year, I'm bringing it with me. Let me ask you a question. Installers and techs and sales, have you ever seen somebody with a 20 by 25 or a 20 by 25 filter and a 20 by 20 frame? Yeah. You know what happened? He went to Home Depot. He didn't bring his Post-it note. What the hell size filter I got? Shit, I can't remember. He asked the guys in the orange or the blue jumps, how big is the filter? It's like yay by yay, right? So yay by yay is a really cool measurement. It can really yay, can really go in any direction. So the good guy in the orange jumpsuit, the blue, said, well, just hit the bigger one, cut it. Have you ever walked into a customer's house and seen the filter that was cut down because it was too long when he got it? What happens when the system turns on? What does the filter do? Moves out of the way because it didn't have a frame anymore. Right? And you'll see these people, I've been there as a tech, I'm telling you, I open up the phone, I'm like, that's really good job. You cut it down to fit? Yeah, it's still clean. You see that, sir? Yeah. How's it still clean? Been here for 6 months. Oh, when the air conditioning turns on, it just moves out of the way. All the dirt goes right on through. Right? I literally had a guy on Longboat Key, the guys who were here earlier, it's an island in Sarasota where I used to work all the time. 40,000 residents, average median income per household, $7 million. There was money, and then there's money, right? These guys were stupid money, right? But I'd be out there working, and the guys sit there, and I go, you got a 20 by 25, and you got a 20 by 20 filter. I go, why'd you put it in the middle? Because he had it like right there. He goes, well, he spits for the Yankees, and I just put it in the strike zone. Okay? Honest to God, true story. Where did the dirt go? Right around it, okay? Same thing. So look for this stuff. You see it out there. So Bob is happy to hear that this comes with a true lifetime warranty, and every time I come out with do the maintenance, I'm just bringing the medium with me. All right, this is done. See, now his thought process, this ain't so bad. Now, he don't know the price yet, but he knows he doesn't have to go to Home Depot with a Post-it note. Okay? Play to this human psyche. She's happy, he's happy, they still don't know the price. Okay. On our UV, do you guys do our HEPA systems at all? Have you seen our HEPA systems?
We don't have them here.
You don't have them here? Okay. And we didn't carry many in inventory either because it was such a very expensive item. I mean, your cost, company cost, is like $700, right? So do your 4.25, so you're looking around a $2,000, $2,500 filtration system, right? Just a standalone. But next time I come back, I'll put it down to talk about it more because you were talking about people that are moving here and they're, sorry again. Anybody here got a house with a man cave in it? Geez, got a man cave? You're the only one that got a man cave?
I feel really awkward now.
I know, is it a man cave or is it the woman cave?
No, it's a man cave.
It's a man cave. Okay, nobody else got a man cave?
I'm gonna have one.
I'm gonna have one. All right. Here's what I sold. I sold a HEPA mini split package. I used to call it the man cave special, right? And it was a man cave special. Think about this, just kind of what you've seen. He wants one. Do you have a particular room in mind in your house? The family room? Yeah, but that's the family room. Your own room, right? Most guys in Florida, they build out the garage, right? They'll enclose a section of their garage, right? And how do they air condition it? Right? Well, they went on YouTube and they said, well, why don't they steal some air from Timmy's room on the other side, right? And they bring it in, and they still can't figure out, now Timmy's room's 100 degrees, and his room's 100 degrees, but he's got a vent, right? I mean, I call it DIY. You know what DIY sites for? Destroy it yourself, right? So that's what these guys are doing. Well, I used to walk in here and I'm going, I see where you're going here. You're thinking. I always said you're thinking. Never said you was wrong. I said you're thinking, right? But let me ask you a question. In a man cave, if we all do this, because I know women they don't keep their rooms as cold, but if you had a man cave in your own house, what temperature would you keep your own space? He-man, woman, haters, club. No girls allowed.
70, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I get answers from like 68 to 71 is usually what's there. But at home, what is the temperature set at? Because your wife says so.
Whatever the girls want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've been married 30 years and 3 daughters. Always had an extra string, right? Because one of the girls was always bringing home somebody else, right? So I had like 4 girls all the time. So same thing. 78, right? Yeah. They want to. Well, this is Florida too, right? So Florida. Yeah. Yeah. Lockbox on it. Yeah. Good for you. So you're gonna be single. That won't last long. She'll have the key, right? But so most guys say they want to keep it there. So and again, they would build out the garage. Well, if you got your own E-Man Eliminators Club, okay, you park your Harley in there, right? It's badass. You had your Corvette in there. You had whatever. And I would see all these guys do this stuff. And I used to ask them, I go, you know, if you can keep your room at 69, 70 degrees, because she's not coming in there, why do you want to keep dusting your Harley all the time, right? If you're gonna have a cigar party here, you don't want the whole house smelling like it. So I would sell them a HEPA system with a carbon inlay if the guys are cigar smokers, because it will absorb any of the cigar smell. It won't get it in the house. And it keeps the man cave dust free because it's a MERV 17 system. And then I would sell them a 3-ton mini split on the outside. And we sold them for $5,400. I sold one a month, right? Now now we do have ladies that are coming out. They call them the she sheds, right? They got the she sheds now. One of the biggest things statistically since COVID, what's picking back up again, oddly enough, is quilting, right? Quilting is picking back up. If you ever see anybody who sews in that sewing room, it's always full of dust because that stuff is always around. So again, I would do the same thing. What temperature you want to keep your own room, and then let's keep it dust free, right? So you can go that. We'll talk about that next time. All right, RUV systems. You guys sell these, right? Okay. So let me just tell you this: the only difference between a fixed mount and a remote mount is think of it as a car, hardtop, convertible. Okay, same exact system, just a different design. This one is really popular in heat pumps. Really popular in Florida because we have air handlers or furnaces can be anywhere in the house. We don't have basements, but it could be in a hallway and you've got no room for this monster. You could have to put something here, put something there. So the remote mounts are very popular down south, but up here, Pacific Northwest, mostly all the way across from Minnesota over, the fixed mounts are the best. These are very, very easy to install. Notice these are new designs now. They used to be gray, they're now blue. You should be getting them in blue. Same type of design that's out there. Like Steve said, he was part of the original design team that brought UV to the residential arena. So people ask you, when you tell them this is the most powerful UV system on the market, you should get this. Oh my God, how much is my electric bill going to go up? Okay, we do everything with 44 watts of electricity. Right, it's less than a 60-watt light bulb. At the end of the month, if somebody had a 60-watt light bulb, did anybody throw out the lamp because their electric bill went up? They didn't even notice it, right? So, do what? Oh, they notice everything, man. That's why they do the laundry like at midnight because they charge them 33 cents per hour. Yeah, it's crazy during peak time. Patented ozone dial, we can adjust it up and down because so many Calis are moving here to Idaho. I tell everybody Idaho's closed. I don't even tell them when I'm here, right? I was in Twin Falls. Everybody's walking around with shirts that used to be a field. Yeah. That was the slogan in Twin Falls. So I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, it's just population explaining, blowing up. So we'll talk about this at the end. Patented ozone dial. I'll tell you how to talk to a homeowner about that. But since you got a lot of people from California coming here, this whole side will be filled up. Somebody wants to take a picture, you can at the end. We are the only ozone-producing residential system sold in the entire state of California that passed the test. These guys didn't pass the test. Airflower didn't pass the test. Anybody else that produced ozone lamps that didn't pass the test, right? Dynamic is the only one that's out there that was able to do what we could do by passing all of the hard certifications, and that was done in 2021, right in the heart of COVID, right before, could give you the yes answer at that point, right? Certified, here it is, 6 of 21. This is when we got certified he's actually killing COVID, moving through an airstream, okay? We'll talk a little bit about that here in a second, but we are the only guys that can actually kill the virus moving through an airstream in less than 0.7 seconds. Our ballasts are wired in high voltage. We are not a low voltage system. When you have low voltage, that means you're not doing a whole hell of a lot. If you hooked up a Nest thermostat to a high voltage system, what would happen to the Nest thermostat? Right. But if you hook up your Copeland scroll compressor to 24 volt, what would happen there? Nothing, right? We need the horsepower to generate massive strength that our lights produce. So this is why we are 120 to 277, and yes, that means you can go light commercial with our systems, okay? If you got something a little bit bigger, we actually have a system that you guys can use. We actually have one that has 2 of these or 4 of these, okay? You just call me and I'll walk you through that when it comes time. 180 microwatts of strength at 1 meter away. So at 1 meter away, when we measure this light bulb, it's measuring out 180 microwatts, right? Everybody else, we are anywhere from 330% stronger to over 700 times stronger than their UV light, okay? Because of what our output is. And then, of course, we also have the only 3-year life warranty in the market today. And this is not in 3 years that it's going to fade out and die. This means it's going to stay above the medical grade of 110 microwatts for 3 years. Okay? So if you go buy a fresh air UV right out of the box of 24 volt, even our little 24 volt, if you take that right out of the box and turn it on, it only generates 55 microwatts. In 3 years, I'm at 110. I'm still twice the strength that they are at 3 years old. So this is why these are the most recognized lamps, the most sought after. Current sensing relays and reflectors, if you need all those, we have all them if you need to. And again, Bob's going to like this because not only does he not have to worry about changing lamps every year, he can now go 3, but this also comes with a lifetime warranty. Bob, if this system ever fails you for whatever reason electronically, let us know. We'll come out and replace it for free. You may need a picture of that. Highlights? Nope. Okay. So let me give you 2 codes. This is kind of when you're talking to homeowners. We used to give it to people in a paragraph form, and it just never worked. So this kind of helps out now. There's going to be 2 codes. You want to take a picture? Go ahead. There's the other one. But what do you think these codes say? All right, so what they do say is this. The top line is the Environmental Protection Agency did a test a couple years ago, and they were able to find out that if you had as little as 1/20th of an inch of dirt on your heating or cooling coil, your system's efficiency is dropped by as much as 21%. Now, nobody was good at fractions, so when I used to ask this to my homeowner, Mrs. Jones, all right, I would never ask him, I always ask her, Mrs. Jones, do you know how thick 1/20th of an inch is? And they always go, no, not really, and I always take my business card and do that. About that thick. Oh, sorry. But I gave her that first, and then I twisted it. Right? It had much more of an impact, so she could see that it literally pretty much disappeared in front of her house. How many coils did you see yesterday that had at least that much dirt on them? It's pretty much safe to say all of them, right? So think about that. Installers, how many times have you ever looked at an evaporator coil when you're changing them out? You're going, this son of a bitch is clean as hell. What did it look like? Science project, didn't it? Okay. Texas A&M also on their code, they say if you had as little as 1/8 of an inch of dirt on your blower wheel, the system's efficiency to move air is dropped by as much as 30%. So dirt is the biggest system killer. In the News magazine in July of 2019, I believe was the actual month, they did an article that said that 82.3% chance of when a phone rings in a contractor's office in heating and air, the reason why the thermostat went out, broken air conditioner, was because it was a dirt or dirt-related issue. 82.3% of all service calls run in our industry because of dirt. Right? If you have a filter in your house, how's the dirt getting through there? Remember what my boss said? Think of it as a sieve. The smaller the holes in the sieve, the better it is to capture dirt, but the harder it is to push air through it. Okay? Think of it this way. I used to walk up, remember, I kept it nice and simple for all my people, even my millionaire people that were out there on Lombo Key. I kept it simple. I didn't want them to think that I was smart. I wanted to think they were smart, so I always said stupid things like this. Mrs. Jones, if I was to take your filter, right, and put it under a microscope, it would resemble a chain link fence. I got a question for you. What's your name? Dylan. If I was to give you, this was a chain link fence, and I gave you 500 basketballs, and you threw them at the chain link fence, how many could you get to go through? One. Not going to fit through the hole, right? But if I gave you a handful of BBs, and you threw them at the same fence, how many could you get to go through now? Exactly. Yeah. You're gonna get a big positive answer. Immediately agree. Okay. I would get an engineer. Oh, you're talking about 72.7. Sure. Okay. Just agree with them, right? Because it's logically it's gonna be a big number. Immediately agree with them. Yeah, I agree. Right. So just to keep it easy for me, Dylan, if you don't mind, when I talk about dirt from this point forward, I'm only gonna refer to it as basketballs and BBs. Is that fair? See, I want him to think I'm an idiot. But in a sense, what have I just done to him? I've dumbed him way down. So when I start talking about dirt, he's only gonna think about a basketballs and BBs as well. When I come to the point to show him dirt, he's generally going to go, holy crap, look at all the BBs, right? That's why I do it this way, okay? To get it there. All right? Okay. So with that, we know sales are not so much sales, but service. Where's my service people? Any service guys making it? All right, awesome. You walked into the house yet over there? What's your name? Jordan. You ever walked into a house yet and somebody goes, God damn, every time one of you son of bitches show up, you try to sell me something. Isn't that right? Yeah. Perfect. Every day. And that's awesome. You know what? When I worked at Unicare. That's our company. Yeah. Get ready. Right? You know what? The sand and the jelly. So when I used to go to the house, right, we had 42 techs. When we had 42 technicians, and at the end of the day, this is the old school, where we had to walk in and, how'd you do today? You had to write that big red O. Because you're like, you didn't sell nothing, you had 5 of them? Everybody told me, man, they want me to sell them nothing. Who won that day? Customer won, right? Because as a mechanic, you should be able to find something wrong with that air conditioner because it's dirty, right? There's something to go along that route. So when everybody would say that to me on Lombo, right, on Lombo Key and Stairs, I would just go, well, buy it, now shut up. I would say it like that. As a joke. And they would do exactly what you just did, like, holy crap, I can't believe this guy just said this. Remember I said, put my grandma on a 6-foot ladder and first like that. I love to shake them up because as soon as they get shaken up, they don't want to argue. They want to figure out where the hell you're coming from. That's a whole different thing. Going, what kind of objections do you get? I don't get objections because I make you too nervous to be objectionable. I want you to question me, like, what are you talking about? So when I would say, well, buy it, now shut up. They would kind of laugh nervously like you did, and I go, well, here's what I mean, right? In reality, here at Service Experts, we are taught, we go through so much training, we are to do the absolute best service in Boise and the absolute best maintenance in Boise and surrounding area. That's what we are trained to do. In reality, Jordan, all I'm really trying to do is just to minimize the distance between the clicks. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, nobody else does either, right? Again, I like to confuse a person. Well, salespeople say, never, a confused person doesn't write a check. You're right, but they don't argue with it either. Right? But once they know when it's coming around, I can get a check out of you, right? So you got I think of it differently, right? So anyway, I got you sitting here and you're going, what the hell is a click? Well, Jordan, I got a question for you. When your system calls for cooling, what sound does the thermostat make? Yeah. I used to Honeywell thermostats, they went click, right? So they go click. Now, Jordan, that entire time, that system is running and running. It's going to be 99 degrees on Saturday. That system's going to run and run and run and run until that thing goes click again. Who'd you give all that money to? Power company. They got it. I don't know what power company. Down in Florida, we call them FPL. It's Florida Power and Light. Is it Idaho Power? Okay, we call it Florida Pollutant Loop. That's what we call it down there. FPL, right? So you give it all the money to FPL. If I can show you a way to save 10, 20, 30, or even as much as 40% on your electric bill every time your system turns on, you be interested? Nobody ever said, oh, leave the bit's broke. They all said sure. But see, now I gotta wait. Now I can talk to you about this, right? I can talk to you about that. And then I said 40%. That's this, and gut cleaning, right? You just want to do 10, you're just gonna do my panel, right? But you don't know that yet as a customer. I just asked you 10, 20, 30, or as much as 40%. Would you be interested? Not one customer ever looked at my face and went, nah. They all went, yeah. See, it's a different way. It's a different way to ask it, right? Without going, when I get done, can I show you 4 options? No. Huh? Yeah, because I'm asking like a sales guy. But if I can show you as a mechanic to save, everybody's interested. This is a different way to ask it, right? Not trying to change anything to service it, just what worked for me, okay? All right. What are the medical experts saying? Well, sometimes if you want to go on to this, you can go here. I never went this direction with a homeowner in the very beginning because I'm a mechanic, right? I'm not their doctor. I literally had one time, I swear to God, and I'm a typical technician. It happened to me once, forget it, never do it again, right? I walked up to a house. We were there, we went to the thermostat. Anybody suffer from allergies or asthma in the home? And I literally had a guy with a bottle of NyQuil and about 5 Kleenexes in his hand. He goes, no, we all feel great. Lied to me. Why not? I was only in the house for 10 seconds. I'm starting to ask medical questions. Hey, when's the next proctology exam? Might as well ask that one too, right? Because it's just not a proper time to go in there and ask it. But when I was all done being the mechanic and saving the equipment, then I would ask, after being in the house an hour, hour and a half, right? I could ask you those kind of questions. Does anybody suffer from allergies or asthma in the house too? So I said 2. Right? Because you already knew your air conditioner was sick. We're going to talk about that. That's how I would get that there. And then I asked everybody else and also have them 2. And you go, well, Timmy sniffles every once in a while. I was here yesterday, and whoever was cutting alfalfa around here, I was sniffling like crazy. My eyes were starting to water. I put about 4 gallons of Visine through my eyeballs yesterday. Oh my God, I could not take alfalfa. Anything else, I'm good. Well, this is when I would talk about that and sell it as a perk. Okay? If I can keep your air conditioner breathing clean and keep all the dirt, dust, and debris out of the air, your kids won't have asthma attacks inside the house because there's nothing to have an asthma attack for. Okay? Got started a little late. I'll skip past this one. This is a really cool one. You can look this up on YouTube. It's called the Indoor Generation. Great video. Lasts about 3 minutes, and I don't want to burn through my time. So we're going to go through that. But watch that one. That's a really cool one. It talks about indoor air quality. It's a worldwide problem. Okay. So my maintenance techs, for sure, this is what we did. Now, this people ask where I come up with this presentation. I did not do this all by myself. At Unique Air, we had, like I said, 42 technicians, and we weren't able to always have IEQ contests. And when we did have IEQ contests, it was usually one of us 8 guys at one, so nobody else wanted to play. Right? But everybody started out really good, but you get guys like us, and we were just animals, and we just sell IQ like crazy. We had $1,000 cash prizes. Those were incentive prizes, right? You know what that's called, right? Jamie's not even call it mama, no money. She don't need to know you got that kind of scratch. You know what I mean?
She calls it daddy, no money.
Yeah. She finds out, he's gone. So yeah, it's like when I'm in Vegas, I'll be playing at the tables in Vegas, and the dealer like, and I'll see his hand creep out, and she'll be taking my poker chips right out there. My wife does that. I'm like, I recognize the ring. It's all right. Yeah, she'll just take poker chips. Yeah. It's good that like 20 minutes later, I'm like, what happened to that one? Those are gone. Anyway. So what we did, the 42 guys that worked together, we all got together at my house because I had the party house where we live. Has anybody ever been to Applebee's? They got a pretty big bar and booze. I had more than they did. So everybody came to my house. I had a big 8-foot round high top table that could sit like 10 people, poker chips and all that stuff. I had a kegerator fridge. I had a regular fridge. I even had the Jägermeister pump. I mean, we had a bar at our house, right? So everybody would come to my house and we would do this. Put all egos aside, right? Jordan's got his secret thing that he likes to do. You like to do a couple things. Jamie's got her secret. All secrets were laid out on the table. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to build the most badass IEQ presentation that we cannot lose on. So 8 of us got together one Friday night every month, right? And we would get together and put together all of our stuff. Now, the more we drank, the funnier the presentations got, right? And my wife was back there going, oh, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. Take that part out, right? But we were having fun and getting there. So this is actually what we came up with as far as the presentation goes. Maintenance and service people specifically. But sales can take tidbits of this as well. How do we start this IEQ conversation? If you do exactly what I say and ask the questions when I say to ask them, you will literally be able to present IEQ on any call you ever run, period. Guaranteed, 100%. I even had a guy when I showed up on a service call, his condenser fan motor was on fire. We still talked about IEQ after we put out the fire and made repairs, okay? So here's the deal. How to start the IEQ conversation. When you walk up to a customer's house, and I know you guys kind of do this, and I think Scott Boost is taking it from me, because whenever I knocked on the door, I used to be a bodybuilder, believe it or not, now I'm just a round guy. But all of this used to be up here. So if I went up to somebody's grandma that was about this big and I was 65 inches around at the shoulders, I took 2 steps back and turned sideways. Okay? I didn't want to intimidate anybody when I went there. So we knocked on that door, but from the front porch, we we would introduce ourselves. Now, we were all physical guys, right? I reach out. I'm a handshaker guy now. I know it's knuckle bump or whatever now. But anyway, I was a physical person. I reached out and said, hey, my name is Johnny the AC guy. Thanks for having us out from Service Experts today. I'm here to do the maintenance. Or I'm here to do the service. That's exactly how I introduced myself. First things first, can you lead me to the thermostat? I asked that person if they could lead me. If you're leading me, aren't you in front of me? Has anybody ever service guys? We've all done it, right? You ever walk in this house and go, can you show me where the thermostat is? What does the customer do?
Point.
Yeah, they point. So if I go down the hallway to the thermostat, where's the customer now? Behind me, okay? Where do you prefer to have a customer, in front or behind? I want them in front. You know why? Because I'm walking into the house and I'm just like everybody else in this room. I'm nosy. I'm going to walk into your house. I want to look around a little bit. I want you in front. Because if you're behind me and I'm doing this, what do you think I'm doing?
Case in the joint?
Absolutely. Absolutely, case in the joint. That's my words. I actually say it. How many people? That's pretty funny. All right. So I want you in front of me. So if you're in front of me, you're leading me to the house. People go, well, what if they don't move? I don't move. You're like, well, come on in. And I go, okay. Thermostat's down the hall. Your casa. And they go, all right. I want you in. I don't move. Okay. So lead me to the thermostat. So what am I looking for? I'm an AC guy. I'm gonna look for dirt, dust, and debris coming out of the vents. Yeah. We got stalactites, stalagmites. What's going on? Have you ever tried to listen for the return? And you hear this. Ooh, stuck in here somewhere, right behind the couch. Right. I've seen them where the couch was all the way up against there, and it's like, oh, it's hot in here. Some bitch can't breathe. You know. So I look for that. As I'm walking down the hallway, right, we're going to the thermostat. I look for a box of Kleenex. Now, this box of Kleenex does not scream, I've got allergies. You know what it tells me? His wife's like my wife. Matches the decor of the room. Okay? Doesn't bother me. This tells another story, though, doesn't it? Not because it's a different color. Because somebody's blowing their snooter a lot. They actually paid the extra money to get one of the aloe lotion in it. Something's happening. Okay? Easy things to look for. How about a ceiling fan? You guys got ceiling fans here in Idaho? Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you cleaned your ceiling fan? Exactly. Right? It turns off, right? When do you clean a ceiling fan?
When it stops.
Yeah. Or you're talking to your buddy, you see that chunk go by, what was that? You know what I mean? And now it's all wobbly because it lost an ounce, you know. And so, but look for, like, you got older houses out here. Look for the houses built in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. They got popcorn ceilings. That is a dirt donut around the ceiling fan. Just look up, you'll see it. It don't matter if it's pulling up or pulling down. Right around the blades, it's clean, but on the outside of the blades, on that ceiling, there's a dirt donut. I've seen people vacuuming before when I pointed it out. And I wasn't being rude, right? I just had to look up in it, and they go, oh my God. They were embarrassed, and they were vacuuming when I was doing the maintenance, okay? So look for that. What's on TV? Remember, we're going to the thermostat. These are things just to look for. What's on TV? Yeah. Not these guys, though. Military channel, right? It's sports. So here's a cool thing. Now, I never get political, but if I walk down the hallway and you're watching MSNBC or you're watching Fox News, I got a pretty good idea who you're voting for. Okay? What are they watching? Usually people watch exactly what they like to see, right? What if the doctors was on? I'll tell you what, I made more money on my 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock calls in Florida than any other time during the day. Guarantee I was gonna make $1,000 for these 2 hours. Why? Because the doctors was on. And who else my favorite one was? Dr. Oz was on right after him. Who watches these shows? Sick people, closet hypochondriacs, nosy neighbors. I saw Mabel walk in the hall. She was limping. I bet she's got bursitis. I've heard this. This is where I get this stuff from. I've heard this, right? So we knew, us 8 guys knew that all the old people that watched these shows, they were always watching the ailments. They knew what they said, what they were talking about. What does Dr. Oz and the doctors say is the worst thing to put in your body if you have aches or pains? It starts with a T, got a white bottle, red cap, Tylenol. Worst thing to put in your body because it does more damage to your liver than anything else. So whenever we would walk into this, now this is how detailed and scripted we got, right? So when we walk in, we go, oh my God, I love this show. Jamie, what's Dr. Oz talking about today? Oh, aches and pains or, knee issues or lower back pains or splitting headaches. We're all in construction. We all ever have that? Every day, right? Bang your head on a nail in a ceiling. Maybe you kneel down on a nail. Whatever the case may be. Come out of your truck wrong. Twisted your back. Whatever it was. If we could relate to it. No! Oh, we don't have to come off of that one, huh?
Old axle broke.
Oh. Boss, you're going to be late.
Airbags went off and everything.
Holy
This just happened
smokes.
the day before yesterday.
Not Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who here? Somebody here?
One of my relatives.
So whenever they would say, I would go, oh my God, I love this show. What are they talking about today? And if they're saying, Jamie, oh, they're talking about knee pains. Oh, I got out of bed this morning. My knee was killing me. Jamie, I took 2 Tylenol just to make it feel better. She knows that Tylenol's bad. I know Tylenol's bad. But when I throw that out there, 99% of the time, the person goes, oh my God, Dr. Oz says don't take Tylenol. You've got to take an ibuprofen tablet. Now, she's giving me free medical advice in the first 15 seconds I'm in the house. Yeah, probably. Follow the money, right? But but she's giving me free medical advice. How fast am I bonding with this customer? Like that. This is why we do what we did, okay? So I was able to bond there. Maybe you go down the hallway, and maybe there's some pictures, right? We're all nosy. What are we looking for? Maybe you got a cute right? Or whatever you're into, right? I never asked about the person. Hey, gotta be careful there, man. I have to cut out so much of my pre-show when I go to California to teach this. They get all offended. But anyway, so in here with the pictures, never ask about a person in the picture. Everybody agree? What could happen?
Whoa, who's that?
Yeah, whoa, yeah, right? So happened to me twice, and you know, just to be honest, happened to me twice. I went down the hallway, I violated the cardinal rule, didn't even think about it. My one daughter, her senior pictures just came out. I saw senior pictures, it was brand new. I went, hey, that's a good-looking kid there, senior in high school. He got killed by a drunk driver 3 months ago. I swear to God, true story. How do you work? You know what I did? I said, I apologize so bad. I actually left the house. I had dispatch bring somebody else out. Okay? So it'd be devastating. I got 3 kids.
Did you at least give him a heads up not to ask about the sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. Second time it happened, I was sitting at a customer's table. It was a one-leg Brizo, and he was actually buying indoor air quality stuff and some other things. And I'm writing, I was like a $3,000 ticket. And as I'm writing, I just noticed on the refrigerator, he's got a picture of a lady in a bikini, you know, an 8x10. And she's very attractive, and I kind of kept looking over, and he goes, what are you looking at? I'm like, oh, her. That's my wife. I'm like, oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. He goes, that's all right. I swear to God, it's just true story. He goes, that's all right, man. We're going on vacation to Jamaica in a couple weeks. She don't quite look like that no more. I just put that up there to keep her from grazing. Honest to God, true story. Honest to God, true story. I cannot make this shit up. I swear to God, true story. Right? So, yeah.
She obviously was nowhere around.
I was laughing so hard inside, I just couldn't laugh. I couldn't laugh out loud, right? But yeah, honestly, got a true story. So you're looking for pictures. So I always say, you know, let's say you're walking down the hallway and somebody went to Italy, right? The Leaning Tower of Pisa. What's the most famous pose? Everybody's got their hand on it like they're trying to hold it up. Ask about the composition of the photograph. Oh my God, I see you went to Italy. How was it? Right? Or you're in Hawaii. How was it with the black sand beaches and the coconut palms and surfboards? How was it? Where'd you go? Would you go again? I would just ask questions like that to get a conversation started. Remember, all of this is happening, and I'm not even at the thermostat yet. Look at all the opportunities you can talk about something. Magazines. Older people, myself included, I love magazines, right? Magazines are what I love. I'm not a Kindle flipper. I'm a page turner. There was always like 5 types of magazines in my house. See if somebody's got anything in common with me. Guns and ammo. Okay, hunting and fishing. That was field and stream, of course. I'm a Harley guy, so there's always some type of bike magazine that was out there. We're big-time RVers. I live actually full-time on my rig right now, so there's always that. And I dabbled in photography. Any of the 5 subjects you can talk to me about? You got something in common with me? Yeah, we can start talking about it, right? If I walked up to a house, and in Florida, 90% of our air handlers are in the garage. So when we pull in, they would just open up the garage door. If you had a scooter sitting there, I don't care what brand it was, I talked for 20 minutes about your bike, right? I mean, it was just ways to bond and talk to a person. Other things too. I used to have every IAQ trainer in the world come in and like, oh, if they're on medicine, they need IAQ and they'll buy it. No, they didn't. Statistically, people who took vitamins, they're more proactive. They're more proactive against not only their health, but their car and their equipment. Those people were more apt to buy and listen to IAQ than anybody else. But the reason I put this one up here is because, again, I like being the quote-unquote idiot in the room when I'm with a customer. I want them to think that they're much smarter than me. Does everybody see what these things are here? I know the picture's a little small on the TV. It's an inhaler. I used to did anybody ever call something the wrong name and your wife or spouse corrects you? Right? Sometimes they're like, no, you idiot, it's this. Ask an idiot question. So if this was sitting here, what was your name?
Justin.
Justin, that's right. So Justin, if Justin's got his glasses there, and I would walk right by, if I saw this inhaler sitting there, I would literally go, oh, cool, man.